Welcome to another Petersburg By Night revamped production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes that will be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the St. By Night Twitch channel where we play St. Petersburg By Night, a massive multiplayer tabletop role-playing game set in the world of darkness. We play Vampire the Masquerade, Hunter the Reckoning, and Werewolf the Apocalypse. My name is Nikki, also known as Crafty Mirage, and you can find me on all social media at Crafty Mirage, and I am one of the storytellers here at St. By Night. Make sure to check out St. By Night on all major social media platforms. We're on Twitter, also known as X, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, and we're on YouTube. But you should check us out on our website, stpbynight.com, where we have our city map, storyteller profiles, our threat meter, and also links to our podcast episodes available at any podcast platform near you. You can get us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, wherever. We'll be there. And if you aren't already a subscriber here on Twitch, you should go ahead and hit that follow button and catch up on our past episodes. And if you're interested in playing with us, come join our Discord server down below and be a part of our amazing community. Today we are playing Don't Get Caught, one of the chronicles here on St. By Night. Let's go ahead and introduce our players.
All right. Hi, I am Mango McSalsa, and I am playing Annalise Fisher, the totally trustworthy Tremere.
Hello, I'm Nori, and I am playing Naomi Walker, Bruja, and Camarilla, and Emissary to the Anarchs.
In our last session, we left at a critical moment where the coterie in the neutral zone faced off against a white that used to be the contact of the Nosferatu Rex. A harrowing battle took place in Philippe Park that resulted in the final death of Rex Elias, the coterie leader and Short King Nosferatu. Annalise and Valerie retreated back to the Anarch territories after Carmen basically banished them for the moment so she could clean up their mess. In the days following Rex's fall, Annalise, you have been preoccupied in making sure that your ass is covered, at least. You let Marcos
I
know.
didn't fire any fire.
You let
I didn't
Marcos
fire any-
you let Marcos know about your movements, letting him know exactly what you guys did, who fired the final shot that ended Rex's life. But ultimately, you also realize that you might need to cover up some tracks on the Camarilla side of things. The neutral zone is a place for both sex to mingle, and it's very easy for information to get out. You got information from Marcos that there are emissaries from the Camarilla that deal with the Anarchs. So tonight, you will find yourself heading to the neutral zone, to Safe Haven, a location where you learn that the Bruja emissary to the Anarchs of the Camarilla, Naomi Walker, holds office to meet with kindred of both sex and to hear them out to see if she can help in any way. Naomi, would you like to describe Safe Haven?
Sure. Safe Haven is, under its human guise, is a domestic violence support center. But at night, when everyone leaves, Naomi comes in. There is various rooms for canceling and stuff. She will lead you through the actual rec center, and where there are couches and everything, to a back office with a very nice, what looks like an expensive desk and executive chair, as well as in front of it, two very comfortable seats made of leather. There are various pictures on the wall, as well as a baseball bat stake that is hanging on one of the walls, and I think that is it at the moment.
All right. Annalise, the room is as Naomi has described. And Naomi, if you would like to describe yourself to Annalise as well, so she understands who the figure she is perceiving.
Sure. Naomi is short, I think 5'2". She has black hair. Right now, most of it's pulled up with the front dangling in front. She's dressed in a gothic style. A lace black dress, lace gloves, several necklaces. One happens to be an infinity symbol. Goth makeup. Yeah, that's about it.
So Amy Lee from Evanescence is currently standing in front of you, is what you perceive, Annalise.
Basically.
Stunning.
Annalise, right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me today.
You're welcome.
Or tonight, I guess.
Have a seat.
Thank you, I will. And she'll take a seat in one of the two leather chairs.
So, why did you wish to meet tonight?
It's a bit of a story, but there's been a lot going on, and an incident happened recently, and I'm trying to make a difficult decision, and I heard that you might be able to help me with that.
I would love to help. I would need more details on what the situation is, so I can provide any advice you need.
Yeah. So a couple people that I've been working with, and I went to take care of a task, and there had been some conflict involved. I felt fairly close to both of them, but our fourth teammate didn't show, so it was just the three of us. But there had been some conflict previously with one of them, because she basically she fucked up, and she didn't do the things she needed to do to keep the trust going between everybody, but we were trying to let her earn that trust back. and I can give you more information on that in a little bit, but in the course of this job that we were working on, it was down here in the neutral zone that we were trying to prevent a mess, and the other person that I was working with that I also felt close to, he got hurt real bad, because the situation ended up being something where he was pinned down. I was trying to get him unpinned, and I don't know if she panicked or if she saw an opportunity, but she started a fire, and I got burnt. He's no longer with us, and I want to trust her, but I have a nagging feeling that I can't. And I think it impacts y'all's side of the fence too. And I'm not sure. I used to feel like I was certain what the right choices were, and I'm just not anymore. And I'm concerned about everybody's safety, both sides of the neutral zone, and I'm concerned about the family that she's from, because I have personal knowledge that it's a bad crowd, and from what I understand, they're a crowd that y'all's side of the fence doesn't particularly like either. And I don't know what to do about it, and I don't know what to do about all these jobs we've been getting sent on too, because it's kind of a fucked situation, to be honest with you.
It does sound like a difficult situation you're in. I am very sorry for the loss that you have recently gone through. It feels like you seem close to the person that you lost.
I felt like I was, or at least like I was closer to him than I had been at the start of things.
So, when you say bad crowd, is this person willingly in with this bad crowd, or sometimes I notice she'll circle around, tend to be caught up in machinations of those older than us and not quite sure how to get out of it.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% on where she falls on it, because if she had been more honest with us, I would have said that she was being stuck in it, but she hid things, and it's primarily a matter of lineage, but it's also an active, for lack of a better term, we'll say social club.
Okay. I would like to hear more details on what's going on, especially if it's taking place in the neutral zone, just to ensure that we in the South are aware of any potential dangers that might be headed our way. But before we get into that, suggestions I may have is to honestly talk it out with her. Be truthful, not confrontational, because that tends to put people on the defensive, but just try to share your feelings about it. And if you feel you can't trust her because of this social group that she belongs to, you may have to give her an ultimatum to cut off that group if you want to trust her again or work with her again. And if she's not willing to do that, then you can really tell where she stands or where her loyalties will lie.
That makes sense. I know that another concern I have is that I know that her sire kind of hates all of our guts, because she's not Anarch like her child is. And apparently she's pretty high up there, I guess, and I'm a little worried about her coming after, I mean, all of us, but me in particular, because I would like to survive, if possible, and on our side of the fence, there's not a lot of family backing from my particular family, so
Which clan are you?
this is probably going to be a mistake that gets me killed, but hi, I'm Annalise. I'm a Tremere from New York.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Annalise. No, it's not going to get you killed. I used to be close with several of the Tremere and the Camarilla, but most of those have moved on. So, unfortunately, my ties with them have kind of grown a bit stale. So if you worry about me sharing that, I won't.
Plus, they've also kind of just been dicks recently.
But I do
I appreciate it.
understand being kind of on the wrong political side, if you could say, that your clan tends to be. I'm Bruja myself, and my clan tends to lean towards the Anarch side, so I always get questioned a lot. So I definitely understand not feeling a bit alone.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It makes things difficult, especially when you're trying to get an education and those assholes have all the textbooks, but that's a different conversation.
Right. Well, as for your friend and her sire, that's a difficult choice she's going to have to make. There must have been something that led her to become an Anarch, even though her sire isn't. So maybe you can appeal to that part of her.
I want to try to. I really, really would like for it to just have been an accident. But it's hard to believe that it was an accident, because she said she didn't realize fire would spread like that with us, and I don't know anybody in kindred society that doesn't know that fire spreads like grease between kindred. So
How did the fire start?
she fired an incendiary round at the thing that was pinning him down.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Did she miss, or was it a shotgun?
It was a shotgun. She did a wonderfully successful job of hitting the thing and both of us at the same time, because, shotgun.
Has she used these types of shotguns and incendiary rounds before?
I mean, I thought she had. They said that they had done a similar job before this one, before I got here, and I would have assumed that she had, but she sat there and said that she didn't think that the fire would catch between us like that, and it seems hard to believe to me, because I mean, I've never heard of anybody that Saya didn't at least tell them, fire will fuck you up, don't go near it. So
Right. But there is a difference of being told something and experiencing something. Yes, she knows that fire will harm us a lot, but perhaps she had never actually seen one of us affected by fire. Or she
possible, I guess.
she had not thought it would spread to both of them, though. Shotguns are scatter rounds, so I don't get that. Anyways. On the other hand, it may be that she's not being exactly truthful, which is what you feel. I would say, yes, the best way to go over this is to be truthful about how you feel and see where you guys go from there. I do want you to know that here at Safe Haven, we do offer mediation services for kindred, as well as counseling.
You know what? I might drag her down here to some counseling. I think that chick could use she's definitely got her share of trauma. Like, maybe a couple other people's share of it too.
If her sire was Camarilla and she was driven to Anarch, I would not doubt it that she has her share of issues.
Yeah. Well, especially with her family, she's Ventru, so like they usually are like stuck to the Camarilla thing like glue. So.
Hmm. Are you part of Ian's barony then?
Mr. Farrow? No. I've been up in Toppin Springs.
Oh.
Naomi, I will say that you are aware of the Ventru of Tarpon Springs, but last you knew, she had been surrendered to Tampa. You know about the situation where there was a Ventru from De Leon's barony that was speaking of the cult of Mithras, and as far as you were aware, it was taken care of. So this information that she's back is something you were not aware of.
Interesting. So, is Sebastian aware of the situation?
I mean, yeah, he's the one that organized our coterie.
Well, I mean, the situation that happened recently.
That's, I don't know if he's been made aware of it yet, but I don't have direct access to him, but I told his ghoul what happened and the details and everything, and I trust him to get it back to him, so.
He's aware.
Yeah.
He's pretty on top of things on his barony. Well, interesting. I think I have heard a little about your coterie mate, or a few bits of information. It seems that this isn't the first time she may have messed up in a sense.
Yeah, I think a while back she got in trouble because she was running her mouth at a party or something, but then I only met her when she got back from whatever happened after that, so.
So you're not sure if her coming back from everything may have caused a change in her.
The friend that died, Rex, actually was really adamant that she was incredibly different than she had been before. And he thinks that her sire or her primogen or her whoever fucked with her head.
You said she was Ventu, right?
Yeah.
That's not outside the line of possibility, especially if they feel, number one, she was an Anarch, and to be frank, Tampa's not fans of us, much less Anarchs themselves, so I'm sure that did not go over well. And being Ventru, they tend to like to exert control. So
Yeah.
she may not be acting even in full control of herself.
Yeah. Well, if you heard about her, then are you familiar with what she got in trouble for running her mouth about before?
Yes.
I have proof that it's true.
So not just rumor, but actually true. That complicates things.
Yeah. And Hasaya knows that I have proof that it's true, so that's a problem for me.
Are you in fear for your life?
I would say I am in moderate to severe anxiety about it, yes.
Okay. I'm going to offer, but I'm not sure you're going to take it up, depending where you feel your politics lie. But if you need help, I might be able to arrange some things here in the neutral zone to assist, but I would also suggest seeking out people perhaps that you trust that could lend you, perhaps Lucian even.
I don't think I've met Mr. Lucian.
Oh, he's the sweeper in the neutral zone.
Okay. I only got here like a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months, so I haven't really met
Oh.
everybody.
You're very new here then. Beware of fires. They happen like at least once every 3 months.
Noted. Yeah, that tracks with my personal experience so far. So
Mhm.
yeah.
But Lucen does a pretty good job of keeping the neutral zone as I wouldn't say protected, but clean as it can be. He works with our Scourge on the south. They both, in tandem, try to keep and make sure the Masquerade is kept in the neutral zone.
Yeah. That's kind of what we were trying to do in the neutral zone when everything went to shit. There was a threat to the Masquerade, and that's what we were there to take care of. And I
Was
mean,
it
we fucking took care of it.
another kindred?
Um, yes and no.
Yes and no.
Um,
Interesting.
I mean,
I don't usually get that answer. But at least it's not werewolves.
no, it's not werewolves. Fuck, if it was werewolves, I'd be back in New York. Fuck that shit.
Or mages. That was
okay.
scary at that time.
It's not like there's werewolves like 20 minutes away.
You know what? They have to cross a bridge, and those fuckers can be scared of water. I don't have to breathe. They can't breathe underwater. I'm good with it. Yeah, Miss Naomi, if DeLeon finds out I told you what I'm about to tell you, he's gonna fucking eviscerate me and then put me back together and do it again. There's been a white problem. An ongoing one. And we've been doing the cleanup on it. It's been staying mostly in the Anak territories. We feel like we're really close to getting the person that's been making them, but the last one that she made down here in the neutral zone. And that was what we were cleaning up when, well, I guess you already know who she is, when Val hit it with the shotgun, and it had Rex pinned down real hard, and I was on its back trying to get it off of him, and we all got burned, but I was in good enough shape that I didn't fucking die. Again.
But Rex, I assume that's the person that passed.
Yeah,
Did not.
He was running our coterie. He's the one that told Valerie to get her shit together and to, like, that she was on thin ice, and it really sucked because it was somebody he used to know, and I think it caught him off guard, and he wasn't prepared, and it was fucking massive. I've never seen one that, or even heard of one that big before, and it had him in a grip and it wouldn't fucking let go, and I was fucking biting it and shooting it, and it wouldn't.
It's okay. It's okay to feel what you're feeling. And I would say, you and your Cody are very brave. I don't know many of our kind that would be willing to risk their unlives to fight a white.
Well, if it just keeps on killing mindlessly and ruining kind and leaving them all over the place, then we're not any of us gonna have much of a life anymore. So it's one of those. It's a fucking mess, but we have to clean it up.
Oh, I completely understand. So, did Mr. De Leon want you to keep it from even Lucian?
He didn't even want the other Anak barons to know the full details. So it was a gag order. Nobody fucking knows. Rex made one exception because there were barons that were probably gonna rip our heads off if we didn't tell them, because they were real fucking aggro. And other than that, it's been a gag order. Nobody knows anything except maybe that there's been, a problem child running around or something. But The one that we took out the other night was the third one we've taken down.
And you're saying somebody is making these? As far as I understood, whites weren't made there when the beast takes over.
So I reached out to my sire because the one of the missing persons we'd found out about recently, when we were able to capture a white, and I did some spooky Tremere shit, and I was able to find out who its sire was, and she went missing from New York in the 90s, and according to my sire, back in the 90s, there was a Sabbat hotbed war going on in that area, and that he said there were rumors that nobody ever proved, but that there were rumors that some Sabbat, he called them pandas, but I think they also go by caitiffs. He said that some of them could turn kind into whites just by killing them. They didn't even have to embrace them.
That's troubling.
It's very, and it's been stressing me out no end, but I know at least what her name was when she went missing, and I don't think she looks the same. We have a suspect, but I can't prove it because it doesn't look like the same person at all, and I don't know for sure how somebody in our boat would change their face unless like a fucking Zamitzi walked by and bippity boppity booped them. We've been getting really close, but it's been more frequent the closer we get, and I don't know if this person knows that they're doing it or not, if it is something that could just be on accident when they feed. But this is the furthest south she's ever gone, if it is who I think it might be, or they've ever gone. And I know DeLeon didn't want any of y'all to know about what was going on, but if the next one pops up in Camarilla territory and we can't get to it, I don't want kind or kindred blood in anybody's domain to be on my head because I didn't fucking warn somebody. So as much as DeLeon scares the shit out of me, and I would really like to not be in deep shit with him or unalive anything else, when it comes to that particular part of things, fuck him.
I mean, you are very brave. Even just coming to talk to me. Mr. DeLeon can be very intimidating when he wants to be, when he's not pretending to be a sex symbol.
Yeah. Have you heard of that Has-Been Hotel thing? People keep talking to me about it, and I keep seeing these memes, and there's this one dude that's like shaped like a moth, and I keep thinking of DeLeon when I see him.
I have heard of it. I have watched it.
They've got the
occasionally.
same pimp glasses.
They do. They do. Either way, I must commend you and your coterie for trying to deal with this all on your own. It seems like this is something bigger than perhaps even you expected.
Yeah. Well, I think DeLeon was just like, it's a bunch of fledglings. If they fucking die, then I can replace them. So I don't think any of us are older than like 5 or 10 at the most. I don't know how old the oldest one of us is, but I've been doing this for coming up on 3 years now, and I was a ghoul for like 4 or 5 years before that. And I mean, I thought I was ready, but I don't know that I was ready.
Well, I don't think, even if we think we're ready, sometimes we're not actually ready for what we end up facing, and I suppose you could say it's a bit of a trial by fire?
Literally in some cases.
Right. She'll stare for a moment. You know, I can offer some sanctuary if you're looking for it. If you do find the caitiff that is responsible and you surrendered it to us in the south, I can have you brought in sort of as a witness protection type into the Camarilla. At least here in the south, we're not. I know you've only been here for a month, but at least I hope you've heard that we are a little bit different than other Camarilla cities, especially Tampa.
Yeah, I kind of heard that Tampa hated y'all's guts and that you guys were the ones that decided not to just forest fire everything north of y'all when Anarchs started showing up, so that's part of why I was willing to try to talk to somebody.
Actually, that's a funny story. Not only were we not going to, I guess, go in and attack Anarchs when they started showing up, our former Prince Isabel, she's the one that invited the Anarchs to come to try to start a conversation and maybe find common ground that we could meet on. That's why the neutral zone was created.
You know, I think if I told my sire that, he would probably tell me to stop feeding on stoners.
Like I said, the city is a bit different. Not that because of that different, we haven't had our trials. There's been a lot of loss in the city.
Yeah. I didn't know Rex very long, but I know he wanted to do some shit to make life better for the kindred in our area, and I don't think I'm taking the path he would have picked, but I'm gonna try to carry the spirit of that forward at least. If I can get it to you guys, then I definitely would. Because frankly, De Leon to the left of me and Tampa Venture to the right, and I just want to curl up in a ball and go to sleep.
She'll take out a piece of paper and write a number. This is my personal number.
Thank you very much.
If you
take it and put it in her phone.
If you do decide, or if you can get her and you do decide to turn her over to us, just call me.
Okay.
I will say is also to consider, like, of the barons of the north, I think Ian would be one you could trust more than the others.
I kind of got that impression, but it seems like it's been a little difficult to get a hold of him lately, so I've been doing what I can with what I got.
Understood. I'm sure he's kept pretty busy with his own barony.
I would imagine so. And let's be real, trying to run any group of kindreds is like herding cats, and the bigger the group of cats, the more shit you're gonna have to deal with.
True. And Ian doesn't try to, even though he's a venture, he doesn't try to rule them like some other kindred turn out being, even though they're baronies. He likes to keep it up as a collective, his barony. So he likes everyone's input on it. And I'm sure that causes even more work for him.
Probably. I can only imagine the paperwork. Yeah. Just, I don't know if your guys' sweep, or I guess you call him a scourge. I don't know if he was anywhere near what happened the other night, but I also figured in case whoever you guys had in the area saw something, it would probably be better to communicate ahead of time than having rumor get ahead of things.
If he was there, I'm not sure any of you would have made it out. He's frightening.
That's valid.
He's frightening to us on the south.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
I should ask him some questions. I've been trying to get scarier and people keep telling me that I'm cute.
Just be respectful if you ever come across him.
Always.
Very respectful.
I got no reason to disrespect any of you guys in the South.
And if you see him, you'll know. He looks like Slender Man.
Like the meme?
Mm-hmm.
Like the creepypasta?
Mm-hmm.
Did he do that on purpose?
Or the story was made after him. I'm not sure which.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I keep forgetting that sometimes kind actually have reasons for the shit they make up.
We're kind of the things that go bump in the dark for them.
Yeah. If only they knew it was us bumping our knees into the fucking coffee table half the time.
I'm sure they would be less scared at times. So, you said you spoke with other barons. Does that mean, I guess you spoke with Zeke and Dorothy?
Yeah.
Do you know if they've had any issues with this cative, or like have you heard
The
any?
most recent white that we captured before the fire sale that happened the other night was actually out of their barony. We went in and cleaned that up. He was skulking in, I guess, the apartment he used to be in when he was a kind, and killed his fucking landlady. That was delightful. Poor old lady. We went in and cleaned it up, got him out. I made sure there wasn't any footage of anything, so there was nothing really to I think there was something in the paper about it the other day, but it was like in passing and kind of mysterious, so I'm hoping they just attribute it to the organ trafficking or whatever that they found out about it at the hospital.
I think I've read something about that.
Yeah. But no, that could have been real bad, but I'm actually kind of proud of how we did on that one. We did okay.
Okay. Well, like I said, if you can capture her and bring her to us, you do have I can get you a place here. I mean, there will be.
Yeah.
We are having a little bit of difficulty with some of the Tremere on our side of late, but I know a few that still you could be able to talk to.
Anything that I should be aware of so I don't stick my foot in it?
Disagreement, honestly, on how the city's run.
You know, I heard something a little while back. Does this have anything to do with the ones with the extra visual option?
Yes.
Got it. Ain't no fight like a family fight.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn that.
I appreciate it, though. That at least lets me know to mind my P's and Q's even more than usual, so... thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I know you didn't have to meet with me, and I really appreciate the advice, too, because... You know, I know I'm Tremere, but people keep assuming that I'm Brujah because I have a temper. And I appreciate the advice. It helps.
You're welcome. Second bit of advice I get is start with in-house first. Start with this friend or companion or your coterie mate. Start with setting things straight with them and coming to either some sort of agreement, or if you need to part ways, you need to part ways before you try to go after this caitiff, or again, because any sort of break like that can lead to more death.
Yeah, and I just don't want to have to keep looking back over my shoulder and not being able to focus on the job at hand. If you guys come across anybody going by Delilah Smith, I don't know if she's still using the name at all or not, but that's the name that I got for the sire of the whites.
The one you suspect.
Delilah Smith. Yeah. Well, no, that's her for sure name. The one I suspect is going by something else and looks totally different, but she matches a picture I got. I mean, she's not one for one. It could be somebody else too, but like, there's enough there that my spidey senses are not happy.
Okay. Well, I'll look into it with that name and see if I can come up with anything, and if I do, I'll let you know.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'll be in touch, and if I can catch whoever's doing that shit, I wouldn't mind a free ride out of De Leon's fucking 3-ring circus of bullshit. That would be nice.
I'm glad you came in, and you're welcome to come in and talk anytime, even if it's not about this. If it's anything else that's bothering you.
Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. I really might drag Valerie down here for some counseling. That chick needs it.
Sounds like it. Might have to get some more people to assist if she's actually been manipulated with
Is there
power.
a way to undo that at all? Like, I mean, I assume somebody can do something, but like, I'm free. I'm like 2 3/4.
Naomi, the only things you can think about are either the Malkavians or potentially these new Salubri in town.
There are a couple of ways they would be difficult. So there are options that we could explore.
Okay. Well, if I don't have to drag her in kicking and screaming, then I might broach that there are options too. If I do have to drag her in kicking and screaming, then there's a whole different conversation about what's going on with the fucking Tampa Ventru and all of that shit.
Okay. Well, just let me know.
I will. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming in and speaking with me.
Annalise, as you leave feeling a little better. Naomi, do you report back what you have learned to Prince Carmine?
Yes, but directly to the prince, because Naomi still suspects, with her interactions between the Anarchs and especially De Leon's barony and the Camarilla, that Sebastian probably has spies, so she would report this directly to the prince so that she could possibly protect Annalise.
All right. And with that, the cam threat meter increases as the Camarilla of St. Petersburg is now aware that there are whites in the city. Annalise, as you drive back over the border into the Anarch domains, your phone receives a text message.
What does it say?
It's a number that you do not previously remember programming in there. It just says Alice.
Ah.
And the
what does the text message say?
The text message says, I'm calling in my favor. I want Delilah Smith. And with that, we are going to move into our next scene of the night.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hi, I'm Jade. I'll be playing the Toreador chef, Alex Baker.
Alex, tonight you find yourself in the neutral zone. You have been busy the past few days. You haven't really been able to catch up with your coterie, with the responsibilities of your restaurant, and also the responsibilities of you trying to gain information as you were requested by Rex. This task has led you to the neutral zone tonight to speak to a figure that you believe could help in providing information, which is Carmen Alvarez, the host of De Noche, which you know now is also a succubus club. So as you approach De Noche is a large 2-story building that you know through your line of work used to be a restaurant that she had purchased and renovated completely, gutted from the inside out to turn into a nightclub. The exterior is white with very nice paneling. There is a dock that extends into the waters behind the club. You see that one side of the club looking over the water just has ceiling to floor windows that are tinted in a way that you cannot see what's going on inside the club. And as you approach the club, I would like you to give me a composure and intelligence roll.
Do I need to rouse for the morning?
Yes.
All right, I failed my rouse check.
Are you also going to blush?
Not in this case.
Are you sure this is in a public nightclub and there are kind?
Actually, yeah, you're right, I should.
Okay.
Okay, Hunger Unchanged for Blush of Life. Three successes and a potential bestial failure.
And a bestial failure it will be, because as you gaze upon the nightclub, you feel yourself drawn to it. You want nothing more than to go inside and immerse yourself in the majesty that is this nightclub. You are in complete awe of it. It's perfect. You can only aspire for your own establishment to be this drawing to anyone. You understand just from looking at it why there is a line out the door even in the middle of the week. So, as you approach, you skirt past the line of kine. Because you're a kindred, why would you wait in line? But you skirt past the kind that are waiting to get in, and you find yourself in front of two security. One of the security guards is a Latino male in his late 20s, very handsome, very attractive. He's wearing a tight black t-shirt that simply just says security across the back, and some very stylish and likely expensive acid wash jeans, as well as combat boots. He's got a nice stubble on his cheek. Hair is just like shaved on the sides, grown out a little bit up top. And you see the other individual is average looking. The security guard is a woman. She's average looking. You can see that she has these very ugly scars, chemical burn scars, that are poking out from a similar security t-shirt. And she is wearing also very stylish pants, as well as combat boots. You see that her hair is short, red, but styled impeccably. And you also, the thing that kind of is strange about her is that you know this is a kindred establishment. You know that Carmen is a toreador. The odd thing about this club and this person guarding the door right now, she has two dogs at her side. One of them a German Shepherd, and the other one is a Border Collie. Both dogs wear vests, like little dog vests that say security on them. The German Shepherd is very attentive, sitting quietly, obediently, keeping his ears pricked and sniffing the air. The Border Collie, you can see, might need a little bit more training. He looks a little bit more enthusiastic than the German Shepherd. His tail is wagging, whereas the German Shepherd's tail is just laying at his side. And you can see that the Border Collie is sniffing the air a little bit more enthusiastically, and when you approach, you can see that the Border Collie starts to growl slightly. And security will turn to you the security guard woman will turn to you as her dog begins growling at you.
I wait for her to speak.
Can I help you?
Yes, I believe I'm on the list. I have a meeting with Carmen.
Name?
Alex Baker. I'm surprised you don't know.
Your fame means very little to me, Miss Baker. And she'll turn to the list that the other individual is holding and look over it. And she will... You see them whisper to each other quietly.
Can I use the coterie Marriott all access to get past the bouncers?
You're gonna get in. They're just whispering. But yeah, you see them whispering to each other quietly. And you do see the woman put a finger to her ear and start muttering into a mic that you see pinned to the collar of her t-shirt. After a few moments, she looks to you. Hand.
I hold out my hand.
You see her take out one of two stamps that she has attached to her belt and stamp the back of your hand with it. You can see that it's a red ink stamp that just says De Noche on it.
Do you need to see my ID as well?
That's not necessary, Miss Baker. You may go in.
Thank you. And I head in.
Miss Alvarez is just up the stairs in the VIP section. Miguel is already aware to let you past. So, as you go into the building, it is loud. It's very loud. You can feel the bass of the music in the floors even. You can see that there are kine everywhere dancing. There is a long bar that is being manned by like 3 to 4 bartenders and is just crowded. Now that you're inside, you can see that the windows that were on the one side of the building facing the water, you can see perfectly clearly through them. And you can see that you can see how you have a beautiful view of the water, which is reflecting all of the colorful RGB lights that have been installed on the dock. You can see that the dock behind the club through the windows has like a nice cushioned seated area at the very end. There is another dance floor even behind the nightclub where there are just people just vibing, drinking, dancing. As you navigate your way, weaving your way through this throng of just people who have little care in the world right now than just to enjoy their night, you go to the you see the stairs that go up to the second floor, and there is a larger Latino man standing in front of the steps. He's wearing a security t-shirt, has his arms crossed. There's a stool behind him that he's kind of leaning on just to like get off his feet just a little bit. He looks older than the security guards that were up front, indicate he's more in his mid to late 30s, but notices you approaching and already starts looking for you to show your hand. All right. He sees your hand, nods, and steps aside for you to go up the stairs. As you head up the stairs, you are in the VIP area. The VIP area, the first thing you notice, it gets a lot quieter. Almost like soundproofing was installed between the floors. It's a lot more intimate up here with booths scattered along the walls. They are very high back booths of rich red colored seating with tables between them, and almost like a half moon shaped booth. And you can see that the booths are just separated by a curtain of chains that comes down from the ceiling between each booth to allow the illusion of privacy. There is another bar up here that is not manned. People can just walk up to it and serve themselves as they please. And you immediately notice that there is a very brightly lit hallway going down past the VIP section. And you can see that if we're to look down that hallway, you would see that there are 3 doors in that hallway. One of them with a plaque on the door that just says C. Alvarez.
Do I notice anyone in the booths?
Currently, there is no one in the booths. The upstairs is, at this present time, empty. There do not appear to be kindred present at the moment.
Anything else aside from making my way to the office?
Nope, that's just, it's very brightly lit. Like, you can see that there's no, like, it's so brightly lit that it's not allowing for any shadows to form in the hallway. Is the only other thing you would notice. Kind of, like, the bright lights kind of just kill the intimate vibe that the VIP area would have. But other than that, there is just the doors that are described and a currently empty VIP area. Are you gonna go into the down to the office?
Down to the office and politely knock on the door, probably.
Okay.
Unless I see Carmen before that.
No. So you knock on the door and you hear that there is a voice coming from inside, like a murmuring before you knock. And as you knock, the voice goes quiet. You see that there is a camera up above the doorway in the very corner. And you see it turn in your direction. Before finally you hear a voice from inside. Come in, Baker.
I politely open the door.
Inside the office, you do see Carmen. She is dressed more casually this evening. She's got some very fashionable but practical jeans on, a black t-shirt, and some low-heeled boots. And you see that she is standing behind her desk, busying her, holding an iPad and glancing at the wall of monitors. It is a wall of monitors that she just has behind her desk. And her hair is just pulled up in a ponytail. You do notice that around one of her thighs, she has a, what do you want to call it? A holster that has several throwing knives inserted into it. And she looks over her shoulder at you as you enter, and you see her hit a few things on her iPad, and the screens go to just showing off the camera sources of the nightclub. You asked for the meeting. What do you want?
I'd like some information if that's possible, as well as your assistance on some matters.
Seriously? As if I haven't helped you in your coterie enough this week.
I am not aware of what you've done with my coterie. I was not present for that.
Oh, I figured you just had some insider info and chose not to come. You might want to have a seat for this, then. And she gestures to the chair across from her desk.
Thank you. And I politely have a seat across my legs.
Your friends went to Philippe Park a couple of nights ago.
Do I know where that is?
You would know that Philippe Park is a park in the neutral zone that's overlooking the bay. So it's on the west side of the coast, of the peninsula. No, east side of the peninsula.
Near here?
So the club is on the west coast of the peninsula. It's pretty much on the opposite side. So no, it's not anywhere near here. It would take like 10 to 15 minutes to drive there without traffic.
I heard that much. What happened there?
Are you still interested in manipulating your little Nosferatu friend? Your little leader?
At this point, I've grown more to realize you should keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Okay.
It takes time to get to that point.
Right.
I don't want to be as overt about it.
Gotcha. You don't have to be overt about it at all anymore, because Rex is dead.
What?
You see her walk over to a trash bag that's just carelessly laid on the side of the, like on the floor, like against the wall. She'll go over, pick it up, and just drop it on the desk. Go ahead, open it. Open it.
I reach to open it, trying very hard to maintain my composure.
Inside of the trash bag, as you open it, it's one of those black heavy-duty ones, you just see ashes. And intermingled with the ashes is just bones of, like, bones of more than one body. And you know it's more than one body because along with the bones, you see two skulls.
Are you aware of what killed him?
Yeah. Your little Ventru friend opened fire on the White and Rex. Set them both on fire and killed them.
Down in the line of duty, at least. Probably the way he'd want to go out.
I don't think he wanted to go out at all, frankly. He seemed more like the type to run than stay. So, do you still need the information? Because honestly, it's really ballsy for you to be asking me for favors when I literally just had to cover this up for you guys.
Well, I'm actually not asking for favors. I'm willing to offer favors.
And what do I want from you? What do you
well,
have to offer me?
Someone close to De Leon would be a start. You clearly know what you're doing with this incredible establishment, and I realize I have a lot to learn.
You think I need help with De Leon? He's my sire. I can just call him.
I don't mean like that. I just mean having a pair of eyes close to him for all the things he won't tell you.
He doesn't tell me a lot of things, and that's fine. Frankly, you guys provided me some assistance in the fact that I had to cover this up for you, so now he owes me.
Well, who asked you to do the cover-up?
His ghoul.
I see.
Apparently, you guys called. Apparently, one of your friends called when you were already out and about. When they were already out and about, getting ready to fight this thing, and didn't consider making sure that you had backup closer than Tarpon Springs. Not a fun call I had to get.
I understand, hence why I'm looking for your guidance. You clearly know a lot more than either of the other members. And when we first met, you were actually willing to call me out on my mistakes rather than using it as leverage.
Who says I'm not using it as leverage? You told me a lot of shit, honestly, that I could use to pretty much ruin you, honestly. It's a good thing.
I can tell you a lot more.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Rex didn't bite, because I could have just told him how you were going to manipulate him.
Isn't that what all kindred do, though?
Fair.
I didn't think it was that much of a secret, honestly.
Well, yeah, you've got a big mouth, so it wouldn't have been long before he found out. But you've got your hands full with little fire starter Ventru. And I don't know who the fuck that other chick was, but she's not happy.
I can imagine. She has quite the temper as well.
What do you want from me?
Guidance in running an establishment as amazing as this one? That'd be a start.
You can do this eventually. You just have to grow stronger. Do you think that... Oh, actually, by the way, that awe you were feeling throughout the entire building would have ended the second you were in the room with her.
I mean, the aw's ended, but I'm still honestly
no.
just jealous about it.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure, just so you weren't fully acting in accordance with the awe, because it has ended as soon as you entered this room. But she'll just... It's just Toreador. Toreador are all charisma and presence. This building is an extension of me. What you felt out there was me. Was my influence, my will, and my power. Any Toreador can do it if they just fucking give themselves the opportunity to get stronger.
And I believe having the guidance of such an incredible Toreador would provide me that opportunity.
You want me to teach you this?
Not teach, but merely oversee. Provide a second to set of eyes. As constructive criticism now and then. I want to be in your employ, basically.
You see her skirt around, you see her set the iPad down on top of the, like just on top of the bones and ash, a cloud of it going up as she just drops it on there. Follow me. We're gonna do your interview process.
Very well. I was going to ask for more, but with Rex gone, all of that's unnecessary anymore.
She leads you out into the once again, very brightly lit hallway, and leads you through the VIP area down to the main club. She gives zero regard to the fact that she has knives around her leg, because she knows that no one is occupied with it in the moment. Everyone's just focused on having fun. She doesn't even go into the you see her doesn't even go into the throng of dancing people. She just skirts through from behind the bar, indicating that you follow her past through there as well. And she takes you to a set of familiar to you doors, because they're kitchen doors meant to swing in either direction. She guides you in, and you can see what were once the remains of a kitchen. Completely gutted out. It's unnecessary here. So she just so you can see that it's been turned kind of into a break room. But one thing she didn't gut out, and as she is approaching currently, is a very large walk-in freezer. You see her reach for the door, and before she opens it, she pauses. And you see her grab a walkie that's attached to her belt. Jennifer, leave Felix up front with Tater Tot. I need you back here. Bring your gun. And Spud. And you see her clip the walkie back, and she crosses her arms and waits for a few moments, tapping her foot. After like 90 seconds, you see the doors behind you swing open, and Jennifer, the ghoul, the security guard, and you figure now her ghoul, walks in with the German Shepherd at her side. And you see her immediately just pull out a gun, ensure it's loaded, and stare at the door of the freezer. Spud, the dog, as soon as they're close to the freezer, you see his fur stand on end and his ears flatten, and he starts growling directly at this freezer. You see Carmen pull up the walkie again. Miguel, have the DJ turn up the music. Make it loud. I don't want anything heard. And all of a sudden behind you, you fucking hear the music start getting even louder. It's booming through the floors. If it wasn't for the walls and doors, you wouldn't be able to hear anything Carmen was saying. She then she turns to you and then has a hand on the freezer door. For your interview. And she pulls it open. Inside, immediately, you see a person try to launch themselves out of the freezer.
Is it a white?
Only to get yanked back by a chain that's around, like a chain and collar that's around its neck. You see a pale face of a man who looks like he waterlogged because his clothes literally look frozen and frosted over with moisture. See pupillated you see dilated pupils, and you see fangs coming from his mouth. I found this. Crawled out of the fucking bay behind my club a couple nights ago. Kept it in here. Deciding what I was going to do with it. Kill it.
Understood. And I draw my knives.
And to make it fun, I think I'll let it go. And you see her... Actually, give me a wits and awareness.
All right. Two successes, potential bestial failure.
2 successes. The bestial failure won't go through just because it doesn't make sense. But basically, you blink your eyes, and all of a sudden, Carmen is no longer standing where she was. You see that she has moved behind this thing as quickly as it took for you to blink.
Celerity.
Celerity. And she has her hand on the collar of the white. And you see her unclasp the chain, like just basically break it and quit and just let it go. All right.
All right.
What is your intention?
My intention is to attack it with everything I got with my knives.
All right. Go ahead and give me a dex and melee.
3 successes.
3 successes. Where is it? Didn't show. Did you hit accept?
Yeah. It should be there at the bottom.
I just see 2 successes.
Huh. Oh, I accidentally put it in the Anarch coterie.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
In
Let me
character
go.
creation.
Let me go check it real quick. There it is. All right, 3 successes. All right. This thing is not trying to dodge. It's going right at you. So let me quickly roll for it. Oh crap, where's my... It's under the blanket. Sorry. Just, luckily I still have the page. Okay. Going to use this 3. This creature launches itself at you and tackles you, shoving you back until you hit the wall behind you, and it's just holding onto your shoulders. You take 2 superficial damage.
All right.
You start hearing the dog, Spud, the German Shepherd, start barking and growling and wanting and snarling, but not moving from the side of the ghoul Jennifer. And Carmen, you can see she's just walking along the edge of the room with her arms crossed in front of her. You do see that she has pulled out one of her throwing knives and is simply watching. Come on, fucking get it. Earn my approval, Baker.
Gonna try to reach around and hit it with my knives again.
Okay.
And stabbing them basically in its back.
All right, it's going to be another dex and melee.
I'm gonna blood search this time.
Okay.
Three successes again, potential failure.
3 successes again. You stab it in the back. It doesn't, like you stab it in the back, doing 1 superficial damage to it, and it as a result of you stabbing it, it was about to go in and bite you, but your knife hitting its back kind of prevents it from doing so, and it just shrieks in pain. Give me a wits and awareness.
I assume the cold has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Zero successes.
0 successes? Oof. You don't notice anything. You do notice, you don't notice anything about the white specifically, but you do see out of the corner of your eye that the ghoul Jennifer has raised her gun now and has got it pointed at the white, and you see that she has a stake in the other hand, getting ready to potentially intervene if she has to. And you hear Carmen just go, "No, Jennifer. She wants approval. She wants to work for me. This is her interview process. Fucking kill it, Baker."
Gonna keep trying the same thing I've been doing. Try to take the knives that are in it and just wrench them.
Okay.
Same pools?
Yep.
Seven successes with a crit.
Messy crit. All right. You hear her egging you on, being just a cruel bitch, not helping you in any capacity, just taunting you, and that taunting gets to you. You feel your beast snarl in rage at this pretentious princess fucking trying to tell you, Alex Baker, famous chef, what the fuck to do. Who the fuck does this woman think she is? As you take the dominate compulsion. But you also do 5 superficial damage to it. Because I believe your knives do +2. Yes, your knives do +2. It's trying to get at your neck to bite at you, and instead your knife just goes into its throat and kind of just keeps it back. You know that a knife to the neck isn't going to kill it, but you're basically just doing it to keep it away from biting you. Come on, Baker, show me what you got. Most Toreador are quicker than this. How much validation do you need? Did you not get enough from your fucking sire? Did she throw you away in the trash too? Let's fucking go. Prove yourself.
Gonna keep trying to attack it and kill it as quickly as possible.
All right. This is going to be the final round. I'm using the dice roller too, just because I don't want to sort through my dice.
Two successes, potential failure.
7 successes with a crit. it wrenches it wrenches away from your knife, kind of going into it more, forcing the knife further in. You do another 2 superficial damage to it as a result of it doing this action, but you do feel its teeth sink into your shoulder, and it starts, and you take let's see, you got 2 successes. Oh wait, bites just do a standard. You take 2 ag. Bites just do and we learned that that fang attacks just do 2 aggravated damage at a flat rate. As it sinks its teeth into you, you feel yourself beginning to panic just a little bit, just because you want to get free. When suddenly you feel it get shoved against you fairly quickly, like also very suddenly, and you feel it stiffen. Its fangs still like lodged into your, and like right here, like this, the juncture between your neck and your shoulder.
Can I try to bite it as well?
You see it, feel it go stiff and like on you. It stops drinking. You can feel it's not drinking anymore. It's just got its fangs inside you. And you feel it suddenly get wrenched off, its fangs just violently ripped from your flesh. And you see Carmen standing over it as it falls to the ground. A stake in its back. Don't worry, I don't like getting blood. I don't like getting Toreador dying in my club. It sets a bad precedent.
I almost had it.
Sure you did. It's a white, sweetie. You aren't supposed to fight these alone. What did you learn?
Backup would have been helpful.
Exactly. There were 2 of us here. At any point, what could you have done?
Could have tried to force them to help, but it seemed like you had more.
Or asked for help.
You said that this was a test. I assumed you wouldn't want them helping.
I never said that. Was that a rule?
There were no rules.
Exactly. The game of Kindred Society is exactly that. There are no rules. I like to think of this whole city as a chessboard. All of the pieces are the same color. And you don't know who controls which piece. You have to decide in the moment who your allies are going to be.
At this point, I feel it's better to look at myself like a pawn trying to get to the other side.
That's the best way to view yourself, considering how young you are.
Even the lowest pawn can become a queen with time.
So what is it you want out of life, Miss Baker? What is your dream? What is your ambition in life? What do you want?
Want to be the one standing in the shadows, knowing everything that's going on in this little city. I don't need to be prince or baron, I just want to be there.
Definitely work on keeping your information close to your chest. In every interaction you have, get more than you give. You can...
I have certainly done that today.
You can go back to your little restaurant. I have some sway in this city. I can put in a good word for your little establishment. I don't see the appeal in food anymore, but I can appreciate the artistic presentation it takes in some of it. I was friends...
We are in agreement on that matter.
I had a friend... I had a friend who, much like you, was a chef in the Toreador. He died in a fire. So definitely be careful. So definitely be careful, Miss Baker. You are in a very dangerous profession for a kindred. Just...
That's why I play supervisor. I don't spend much time in the kitchen anymore.
I'll put in a good word for you. I've noticed that you haven't been posting on social media very much. Is there a reason for that?
I need to get back to it.
Doesn't have anything to do over the fact that you've been locked out of your account?
I could have swore that Annalise gave it back after.
She didn't.
Oh no!
Yeah, you've been locked out of your account this whole time.
I've been more preoccupied with dealing with these whites.
Well, and you see her hold her hand. You see her reach into her phone, into her pocket, pull out a phone, and type in it a little bit. You've got your account's been unlocked. I will throw a few bots your way to increase your follow count. And you can take that fucking oven with you. It's just taking up space. And she just gestures to this very nice industrial oven. It's got 8 burners.
Do I owe you anything for this generosity?
I want the caitiff doing this, Miss Baker. You don't give it to Sebastian. You don't kill it. You bring it to me, and I will deal with it. That thing, as she just gestures to the white, it has crossed a line with me.
I understand.
I'll do one last favor for you as well. And you see her walk over to the, you see her crouch over the white and lift its arm. You see frozen to its arm, to a douchey bro bracelet that it had on its wrist. You see that there is a strand of hair frozen to the arm. I don't know who made this. They were very careful to not show their face on camera. But whoever it is, and you see her yank the strands of hair from the bracelet and hold it out, the frozen hair out to you. They were blonde. So you're looking for a blonde caitiff. Bring it to me. And I will make sure that everyone's going to your fucking restaurant.
Could I ask for some advice on that matter?
Stake it and bring it in.
Understood.
That's your advice. If you kill it,
no, I meant
before I have a chance.
On the restaurant.
Oh, on the restaurant?
Yeah.
Take your time promote on social media for now until you can get stronger.
Not that. I'm wondering how you get the kindred to keep coming around here.
The kindred or the kine?
The kindred. What draw them to this place?
It's a succubus club. But, again, I told you, this building's an extension of me. You know how us Toreador can draw people's attention to us?
Mm-hmm.
The power of my blood is literally flowing through this building. That's why it's successful. You think I got out? You think I'm making a profit in my first year? That doesn't happen. You're in business. You run a restaurant. You know that doesn't happen. You don't break even until your 5th year.
So how do you prevent unwanted guests when you're hosting private events?
Easy. I lock the doors. It's my fucking business. It's my fucking building. If I tell people to leave, they have to leave. And if kindred don't leave, then they're breaking hospitality, and I can fucking do whatever I want to them because it's the neutral zone and there are no rules.
I don't mean kindred. I mean like werewolves and stuff.
werewolves.
No, I meant that out of character.
Oh.
Or just for clarification for why I was asking.
Yeah, no, she's still gonna answer the same.
Okay. I guess I was just overthinking it then. I appreciate the advice.
Running a business takes dedication and you gotta put work into it. Sometimes you could give it a little bit of a supernatural boost, but until you're powerful enough to do that, just work on the actual marketing.
Ah, understood.
I want the caitiff. Understood?
Understood.
Good.
Understood. I'm on it. It will be done.
Jennifer, turn the lights off on the dock. Leave this out for the sun. And she kicks the white as she strides past it. Have fun the rest of the night. I'm going to have a meal and get work done. This place doesn't run itself. And with that, Carmen leaves the kitchen. You are standing over the white. You have the hair, or the frozen hair in your grasp. You do have some blood on you. Are you going to remain at the nightclub the rest of the night and enjoy Carmen's hospitality?
I'd probably take off my coat and try to either burn it or do something like that.
I'll say that the ghoul will offer you a new shirt to change into. It's just a basic black t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'd probably just put that on, hang around the restaurant for a little while.
She'll take the coat and just get rid of it, dispose of it in a manner that is discreet. But yeah, you spend the rest of the night in the club. You have a clue as to you now have the clue that the caitiff you are searching for has long blonde hair. And with that, we're going to go ahead and take our break. When we return, we will see what Valerie's been up to this week. And stick around, stretch your legs, get some water, use the bathroom. We'll see you back here in 5 minutes. And welcome back. We're going to jump right into our next vignette.
Hello, I'm Jay, playing Valerie Monet. Currently, a little bit struggling adventure. A little oopsie whoopsies.
Valerie, it's been a rough couple of days for you. You've had nowhere to go, no one to talk to, and have had a lot of processing that you've had to do as a result of your own actions. For just a few days ago, you did the unthinkable, and you killed another kindred. Now, to someone who was raised in the Camarilla, this brought a sense of panic, because you were raised under the rule of the 6 traditions, which include the right of destruction, and you know that you are not to take the life of another kindred without permission from the authority of the domain. Now, it's a little loose because you were in the neutral zone where there are no rules, but Ventru upbringing, you held yourself to a higher standard than the rest of the kindred as a Ventru. You had River pick you up from the scene because, unfortunately, he's all you have right now. And you went to the only place you could think of in the moment, the only safe harbor you could think of in the moment. You went to the safe house that Agnes left you the keys for. So for the past several days and nights, you have been staying within the safety of the safe house in Holiday. River has not asked you what happened, but part of him can guess based on how quickly you wanted to leave. And the fact that your phone has been surprisingly silent. Tonight you find yourself sitting on the couch of the living room, staring at the crocheted spider on the coffee table. What's going on through Valerie's mind since all of this happened?
At first, there was a large amount of panic and in despair as Valerie quite heavily regretted her actions, but since then, Valerie has sort of come to rationalize a little bit, or to at least excuse herself for the action, as she tells herself that she didn't know backup was coming, that there was no other option at the moment. If the white got out, then it would have been a much bigger problem than a fire or anything else, really. If the white caused a massive masquerade breach, it would have been a bigger trouble. So Valerie still feels bad about it, but is more just, kind of rationalizing and just pushing it off and trying to excuse themselves for what happened.
As you stare at the crochet spider, River will approach you from the kitchen. I want to say sorry in advance.
Just looks up and sorry for what?
He pauses, and you hear the doorbell ring.
It's maybe an earlier Valerie would have a lot more pain, would be more upset, but right now Valerie just doesn't look even surprised. Just
I couldn't help it.
as much. Yeah, I know. And we'll stand up and walk over to see who's... I think I know who's out there, but I'll just check to make sure.
You will see through the peephole your sire, patiently waiting, checking her nails. and then making direct eye contact with you through the peephole.
Just sigh. We're unlocking and opening the door, and upon seeing Agnes, just say, "What a surprise! I didn't expect to see you here so soon."
Yes, well, I hadn't received an update, and she looks specifically at River when she says that, as I expect. So I had to get a little proactive. Shall we go have a seat, darling?
I'll just say, let's go ahead. I do have a question about something I wanted to try and set up beforehand.
What's that?
I wanted to see, could I install an app on a recording app on my phone that I could have recording even when the phone is not turned off, when the screen's off?
Yeah.
In rest mode? Okay. Yeah, I'll direct her to go ahead, and when she walks ahead of me, I want to open my phone and turn on the recording before letting it rest.
Give me a dexterity and stealth roll.
Currently at, am I back down to 1 hunger?
I would say, yeah, you fed by this point.
Yeah, I'm going to rouse. Blood surge, if you will.
Ugh, I don't want to dig through my dice.
You could say I just win.
I could, but it's going to be more fun to roll.
I'll use a willpower, why not? Wait, why am I hunger like that? It's fine. It's not going to really be a problem. I have to readjust it. It is a 4 success.
4 successes, okay. She has this many with this many. Okay. She did not seem to notice.
Oh, what was the rule on healing aggravated again? It was 2
It's
rouses
3
per
rouse checks per 1 aggravated damage.
I would have at least tried it in the downtime, so I'll give those now, just so we have a better idea what
Okay.
I'm standing at. I failed only on 1, so I'm at
Damn.
102.
Good job. So
I like
you
to
would,
be confident.
so you would still have some burns on your hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Agnes will go to the living room and have a seat on one of the chairs and then look to your hands. What happened?
Well, that is a long story. Started out, we found another lead on a potential white in the area, neutral zone specifically. So we made plans to go hunt it down, made sure to clear out the area, try and make sure everything was covered up. I brought me incendiary rounds with a shotgun. All of us were equipped. However, even with all that, we were still a bit underprepared and undermanned, as a white bursting out of the water seemed to have quite the skill and potence to knock all of us to the side. After that, the white pounced on Rex. When he did so, started draining him dry, just squeezing him, getting all the blood out of him. The other one that was with us, Annalise, jumped on his back, trying to bite, tried to shoot it, not very well. I was the only one with something that could really hurt it with the incendiary rounds, and I made the decision to fire upon them with the shotgun.
You made the right choice.
It came at a cost. Annalise survived. However, the White and Rex did not. I tried to see if I could at least stop Rex's demise by pushing them into the water, but he was going to be a valuable ally. What we were looking to do, if he could enact his plan. He was trying to become Baron.
Oh gosh, that was trying to become Baron. The loudmouth that was telling me off over the phone, that had no sense of decorum, no sense of politics, no sense of negotiation. Sure, he would have lasted such a long time as a Baron. This is why the Ventrue should be in charge, darling.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't matter anymore now. That plan has long since went up in flames.
Much
Now
like your
we are-
friend.
It's just a pause as, like, shooting daggers, glaring over, shooting daggers before just resuming, just saying. Besides that, it actually is fortunate that you came, because I actually wanted to discuss with you a few things. I've decided that I would help you and work with you in this coup. However, I had terms, I have conditions. And I know that you need me as much as I'll need you.
Darling, do you really think that with how much of a mess you've made, you are in any position to demand anything of me? And to set any of your own terms?
If any other kindred asked, what I did was entirely justified. I stopped a massive masquerade breach. I
It's about
killed the
this
White.
time, when you say the word justified, you feel a coldness to the back of your neck. And you hear the whispers of a voice you wouldn't expect to hear again.
Hi, I'm Krazaz. I'm playing Rex Elias's Phantasm. Valerie.
There's like Valerie, like kind of. There's like her eyes kind of widen for a second before kind of like narrowing, and like shakes their head as they resume just looking at Agnes and focusing on the conversation.
You killed me, Valerie.
As hear that, Agnes, I need to take a small break here. I need to realize I left something in the other room. Can you hold for just a second?
Fine.
I will stand up. I'm going to walk actually into the bathroom. As I'm going to, once I enter in, I'm just going to like stare at myself in the mirror as I just say, Valerie, stop. Look, it's okay, calm down. It's fine. That's just stress. Get yourself together.
That stupid bitch.
And just,
How dare.
fuck, no, it's not happening. Not happening. This is just from stress. After you're not a damn Malkavian, don't hear things. Just ignore it.
You left me burning.
Look, I did what I had to do, okay? I stopped the White.
Are you staring at yourself in the mirror when you say this, Valerie?
Yeah.
You blink. And you don't see your reflection as you. You see Rex in the mirror, staring back at you, sneering. Not as you normally would have seen him. Whatever curse the Nosferatu have in their unlife, it appears that in final death, it is finally gone.
I imagine I was like leaning forward and looking, and when I blink, see it, I kind of like jump back a little bit. And I'm like, no, fuck, okay, no, it's. And I'm like gonna quickly turn on the sink and try and like splash water in my face, and maybe, and then like after like wipe my face off, I'm gonna look up and see if he's still there.
You splash some water on your face and you look up, and it appears he's not there. Just you in the reflection once more.
Like I said, it's nothing. It's did what you had to do. You stopped the white. You made sure it wasn't given a fate worse than death. It's you did good.
You're a fool, Valerie. You're not the kindred I knew you were.
At this point, I imagine I turn away from the mirror, kind of looking around, like, okay, who's doing this? Whatever game you're playing, it isn't funny.
Who do you think, Valerie?
You're just probably some fucking Malkavian or Nosferatu just trying to mess with me. And as Valerie say that, it's just you can even tell that Valerie doesn't even believe what she's saying.
There's more than just kindred in this world, Valerie.
No, I mean, no. What would you have to cling on for? Especially with me. There's nothing. I did what I had to do, okay?
You aren't the kindred I knew, Valerie. Where is she?
It's just quiet for a second, or she got fucked up when she went to Tampa, okay? I've forgotten so much who the fuck I was, and you know the worst part was when I fucking lost again, and it seems like the only thing I keep doing is fucking losing, and I hate losing so much, and I'm tired of it.
So win. Claw that memory back. Bring back the Valerie I knew. Stop being a pansy and get back in that room and show that bitch what's what.
Oh.
Valerie, can you go ahead and make a wits and awareness test, and you get an additional dice.
Can I rouse?
You can rouse.
I'm gonna do that. I'm getting a little hangry, but it's fine. Wits awareness additional die. Ooh, let me use the willpower. It's only 2 successes.
You turn back to look in the mirror as the whispers of Rex are urging you to remember. But you can't do it. You're staring at yourself, struggling in the mirror, as you stare at your reflection, that block that's in there is just too strong. In your mind, you know, based on the evidence you've received, that there has to have been some manipulation done to your mind by this point. The evidence that's been presented to you just justifies that too much. But whatever block they put on your brain, you haven't, either you can't or you won't break through it.
I'll stiffen up. Like I'm trying to remember. Then I come to that realization as I'll just say to myself, and I guess as much as to Rex, I might not be able to remember it myself, but I will get those damn answers, one way or another.
Fake it till you make it, baby. I believe. Or else I'm gonna be here fucking forever.
Mallory shivers, realizing that maybe there's fates worse than death, like being stuck with a spectral Rex for the rest of your unlife. As I think this would also be a good time as an ability I haven't used in quite a while. That might help me out here. I want to use my Ventru Legacy ability on Agnes to see if there's something that maybe just anything of note that might help out here, might come, especially now that I know her actual noble name. Can't hear you.
Sorry. So you think hard. The Bourbons. They were a family in the aristocracy over in France for the longest time. Now, noble houses aren't so much a thing anymore in France, but it indicates that she might be a little bit older than you initially realized. Since the Bourbons were done away with in the French Revolution. Along with Marie Antoinette, the aristocracy kind of just fell apart over there. But you know now that you are also of the cult of, not of the cult of Mithras, but of the bloodline of Mithras, the Methuselah of the Ventru lineage. Prestigious line that, yes, has a cult founded around it. One associated with the sun. You know for a fact that Agnes, hard-pressed to find her never wearing some form of sun iconography.
I'll think of that as I'll straighten up myself, dry my face off as I'll exit the bathroom and walk back to Agnes. With almost a little bit of a newfound resolve in this step.
Actually, as you step out of the bathroom, you do see that Agnes has started to approach and is looking at you with concern now. Who are you yelling at, darling?
Valerie will just brush herself off as she it was nothing.
You have a little bit. Actually, give me a manipulation and subterfuge, or composure and manipulation, or composure and subterfuge. One of the two.
I like manipulation.
Manipulation, all right.
Total failure.
Wish I could help.
Total fail. I didn't see it. Did you hit accept?
Yeah, I did. It's total failures. It should be in there.
It's not showing up.
Yeah, I saw it. That was weird.
It's in the Anarch coterie chat. That's why not in the Dice Roller chat.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Okay. So she narrows her eyes at you. Are you trying to convince yourself of that or me? Because it definitely wasn't me. And she walks over and gently strokes your hair. It's all right, darling. I know that killing a kindred is not what we do, but he was just an anarch. The rules don't apply to them.
I'll actually kind of knock her hand away as I'll narrow my eyes as I'll say, I believe we were discussing business, unless you want to abandon that conversation.
You're an anarch too, Valerie.
Have a seat, Valerie. Give me a...
Intelligence plus resolve, I assume.
Intelligence plus resolve!
Oh my god, I know that roll so well. Like I do it on other people. I thought I was giving myself an extra dice. Whoops. Let's see, that is 7 dice. Fuck you, Agnes. 7 success, messy crit.
5 successes on her end, so you beat her. You feel the pressure on your mind as she just attempted to mesmerize you. But you shake it off and feel your clan compulsion kick in to dominate the conversation.
How dare she try to pull that shit on you, Valerie?
Valerie, almost like, I imagine Valerie almost seems to gain a couple inches, like stands almost taller as she will just kind of like look down at Agnes, more, not a literal, but a metaphor.
Well, she's shorter than you, so no, you are looking down at her.
As I'll say, I was able to resist Bateman, and you think you can try and dominate me?
Fine. Let's have a seat. Perhaps at a table, since we're negotiating now. And she'll skirt past the living room, the comfortability of a chat with your sire now out the table, and negotiations with Aventru very much on the table, as she takes a seat at the head of it.
I'm so tempted. Fuck it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna look at her as I'll say, I believe you're in the wrong chair. And I'm going to then say, I think it'd be best if you moved your chair. And I'm gonna try and dominate her with mesmerize.
All right, give me the roll, manipulation and dominate.
I believe it's a rouse roll to do it, and then I want to see.
It is.
Rouse.
I forgot to rouse for her, so let me do that now. Oh, she would have gotten hungrier.
It's manipulation and dominate. 6
and
dice.
It's intelligence and what? Resolve? Yes.
Yep. Technically, my hunger would be 3, I think, but it's gonna put me at hunger 4.
She's gonna spend a willpower.
Technically, I would have 1 more dice. I'm gonna use my willpower here. Then is it okay if I just roll an extra dice?
Yep.
I both technically at hunger 3. Okay, so, and then I would have 1 more. Okay, that's 5 successes crit.
She got a bestial failure. You see her get up with a look of bewilderment and pure, utter disgust and offense. But she does as you tell her and moves to a different seat in the middle of the table.
Then I will sit at the head of the table as I'll
Your clan compulsion has cleared, by the way.
I'll look to her and say, good job.
She is seething in her chair right now, glaring at you. Someone has gotten a bit big for the little shoes that they currently fill.
For someone just realized that the one that acts like they're above them doesn't really deserve that position. Considering, didn't your family lose their title in the revolution? You're part of what power does your name really have?
Hang on. She needs to make a frenzy check. It's her unspent willpower and a 30 humanity. So 2.
Look, I'm willing to play this game.
I'm doing math. 1 second. All right, so.
It's a good one, Valerie.
Okay, she spent 1.
Maybe you're not a failure after all.
Oh wait, there's no hunger in this roll.
I just realized I hated losing.
She doesn't frenzy. She composes herself as you say that. Bringing up the past does nothing, dear. It is a very admirable but sad attempt to push my buttons. We were negotiating, since apparently that's where we're at in our relationship.
Because I know that your plan hinges on me. I know Bateman. I know you would never work with Bateman willingly unless there was something important at stake here.
Bateman is my primogen, Valerie. I serve my primogen and the court of Tampa faithfully.
Valerie would just kind of... Actually, how do I...
You're getting to her, Valerie.
I'm sorry, I take a moment to contemplate here. It's hard to shit talk all the time.
It's hard. Trust me. It's hard. It's not easy. Playing a bitch is not easy.
Yes.
Can I suggest something?
Yeah, you're more than you're able to whisper in their ear.
I was just gonna suggest like an insight on that remark.
I mean, yeah, if you wanted to, you can do a wits and insight on her demeanor right now.
I don't believe her worth a damn, because I already know that she doesn't like Bateman. I already figured this out. Because we did it during downtime, I figured this out. It was at De Noches I figured that out, right? Or was it just from what I knew? I believe it was at De Noches. I was trying to gather information, and that was something I heard or was told.
I can't remember off the top of my head. I'd have to reference back on notes.
I could also just look in the thread, because I could just look up Bateman.
All she does is lie to you, Valerie. She just tries to manipulate and get you on her side.
Oh, no, that was... Wait, I think that was actually Carmen not liking Bateman, because I think what happened...
Okay, yeah, now that I'm remembering, I'm like, I don't think I said Agnes dislikes Bateman.
I just misread it and thought that was...
Yeah,
that
Carmen
was
dislikes Bateman for sure.
So yeah, I'll insight that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a wits and insight. I love Kyrie's dice bot.
Yeah.
Even if it's mean to me sometimes. It's just easier.
I'm really tempted to push it and then get a little snack, but... Yeah, let's push it. Oh shit. Well, my hunger's unchanged at least. Well, that's not good. Bestial failure for success. Curse your 9 dice pool.
Hey, she's built for one thing, and it's lying. And gaslighting. But as you read her, it doesn't sound like she's lying. Bateman is, you know that Bateman is a powerful Ventrue. You don't know exactly how old he is. Maybe he's older than Agnes. Maybe she knows better than to mess with someone older than her, more powerful than her. Maybe you've misread the entire situation. Maybe you're fucking up right now. Oh fuck. What if you just walked into this and you're just signing your death warrant as the paranoia compulsion hits you?
Am I able to read Valerie's thoughts, or am I completely detached?
You're detached.
Okay.
I'll still keep on the cold exterior as I'll try and push through this a bit, even though as much as I want to take a break or run, the beast wants to run, but my mind, the keen kindred mind that I have, wants to stay.
Actually, I take it back. I want it to be a dominant compulsion. This is a Ventrue meeting. I want it to be two Ventrue just having it out. So you're gonna get hit with your clan compulsion again. I feel like that's gonna be more entertaining than paranoia. So let's go with the Ventrue compulsion.
I'll say, right. Well, I'll explain to you the conditions of what I want coming in if you want my assistance.
Assistance with what, darling?
Playing coy now, are we?
You're
With
behaving
your
a little
project.
erratic right now. A little hysterical, even.
Show her hysterical.
That's very interesting that you mentioned that. Sometimes stress can bring about hard times, but what I'm wondering is why you were so defensive over what I said during that tea party about your affiliations. Because that's someone who obviously has no ties to the cult, considering that they have such memorabilia as, and worship the sun, and considering that you always have sun jewelry or some sun sort of accessory on, which is quite odd for a kindred, I must say. It shouldn't have brought you any real concern. I mean, also, why would you care so much of my fate after what I've said? You could have just left me to be dealt with by the St. Pete Camarilla, but yet you were so insistent on bringing me over and wanting me.
You're my child. Why wouldn't I want what's best for you? I wouldn't want to see you destroyed. You're my pride and joy, after all.
Is that what you said to all the others?
You're my only one, dear.
Piece of shit.
You are the only child I've ever had. I care for you. I didn't want to see you just carelessly tossed aside. I think of you as a daughter. And I want what's best for you. I want the best for you. I want to see you achieve great things that would make me and our bloodline proud.
He doesn't deserve to be proud of shit. Make her regret everything she says right now.
So the recall back on something, just a reminder. I remember from the conversation that we had, or I overheard in Tampa, there were other candidates, and was it ever explicitly said they were?
It just said there were other kindred. There were other childer.
Yeah,
and
other
you were the
childer.
only one left.
But it didn't explicitly say that it was all from Agnes.
It did not explicitly say that it was from Agnes. As far as you're aware, you have never encountered another kindred that was your broodmate. I know it's cheesy, but you're special, Valerie.
You're special,
important.
Valerie. You're important. Show her that you're important.
You know, Agnes, with my time down here, I've come to learn a valuable lesson. I learned that I'm not actually special. I'm not some chosen one, someone that was made for a special destiny. What I do know, however, is that I'm better than everyone else. I've been willing to do things that others have not to get what needs to be done. And Agnes, I'm unsure if you quite have that considering your conversation with Bateman and considering talking about how the other failures of what your special little project. You want to go in details about that, what you were struggling with?
My little project? No. I don't think you need to know the details of that, darling. It's safer for you if you remain ignorant.
But you live on the edge.
I understand. It's embarrassing to talk about your mistakes like that. I mean, what happened with your lineage, with how you've lost your grip on me. I understand you have a long line of mistakes, and this is just another one of them. And I understand it's hard to talk about them.
Give me a manipulation. Oh my god, what do I want to make this?
Can I make it a persuasion almost?
You know what? Yeah, I think persuasion would be good.
They do put gaslight under persuasion, so I feel like persuasion can be used for a couple things.
Yes, persuasion.
Right.
Gaslighting counts as subterfuge and persuasion. It's great. Okay, so.
I have hunger. Fuck it, we're on the edge. I'm pissed.
Oh boy.
Technically, we would have another dice to re-roll this willpower, so I'm gonna re-roll one and then I'll roll the other one. Okay, so 5 successes. This one doesn't really matter.
Oh boy. You see her eyes flash and she stands up. Give me a dexterity and athletics roll.
Is she aiming to like slap me?
Oh, 100%.
I'm not gonna dodge it. I'll let it happen.
Okay.
Why would I dodge? She's clearly inferior to me. Let her have her little outburst, her little rage. Like a child.
Alright. She hits, but you take no damage. Because it 1-to-1. You take no damage. She slaps you and is glaring down at you now. How dare you have the arrogance to speak to me that way? You insolent child!
Show her arrogance, Valerie. You're a Ventru.
I'm gonna look up to her and say, "Oh, are we having a little tantrum right now? It's okay. If you need time out, you can take a step out."
Valerie. Choke the life out of your ghoul immediately. Give me an intelligence and resolve.
Fuck it. It's all worth it.
She is going to blood surge.
5 successes crit.
How do I rouse? There we go. Sorry, hang on. I'm relearning the dice bot. Oh no!
No, messy crit. Ah.
You feel the pressure on your mind. And yeah, you want to go immediately start choking the life out of River.
And, oh yeah, I can't do anything to... It's not like Frenzy where I can't spend a willpower.
No, she's older than you.
Well, with my 1 dice pool for strangling, I'm gonna go over and try and strangle him.
And she doesn't look at River at all as she says, "River, let her." And she's going to use Mesmerize on him.
It's okay, Valerie. He was an insolent worm anyway.
River is going to stand completely still.
All right. I mean, don't have much of a choice.
Valerie, you put your hands to River's throat and start squeezing. And he starts struggling. The entire time, he's staring at you. Tears forming in his eyes as you choke him.
And while I'm doing, I'm pretty much just like a puppet, if I remember correctly, of Dominate, so I can't really do
She
anything
didn't rationalize this at all. This is not your idea. So you know, you are aware. She has rationalized, but she did not rationalize this for you.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I can't deviate. Like, if I wanted to drink from, I couldn't. If I wanted to say something, I couldn't.
You can say things. You can say whatever you want, but you will be completing the order.
I will. Yeah, as I'm doing it, Valerie had already knew River's death sentence was coming. In fact, she already planned a death sentence, but this is just bumping up a little bit earlier. As Valerie was like choking him, Valerie would just say, "I'm sorry, but the moment you went to Agnes's side, the moment you didn't tell me what you were doing, what happened, you signed your death warrant."
As you are choking him, tears are gathering in his eyes, and he smiles at you. It's okay.
You can't do this to me.
He's choking the words out, but you make them out clearly. It's okay. It's okay. I forgive you. Release me so she can't control me anymore. Free me from her. Thank you. It's okay.
And there's like trying hard, but it's like a couple of bloody tears will streak down her face before she kind of resolves herself, and it was maybe with even a little bit more effort now, a little bit more. But beforehand, it was just a mindless kind of grabbing, but now she's doing it kind of almost out of her own will now, just going to finish the job.
It's okay. Sometimes you have to sacrifice a knight to get to the queen.
You see almost relief in River's gaze as you're starting to see the light fade from him. He's gone down to his knees by this point from the lack of oxygen as you continue to put pressure. You're not a strong kindred, so it's taking you a little longer, and River's a little bit more resilient than you are, at least physically. But as you're choking him, you're seeing the light die from his eyes. You're seeing the relief. You see all of a sudden his eyes light up a little bit. And he whispers the name Gabriel. Before you feel the snap beneath your thumbs. And the body falls limp to the ground.
How many more, Valerie? How many more people are going to die by your hands? I know one bitch who deserves it.
Valerie, did you care for River?
I still care deeply for her, though
Then I am going to need a frenzy check. So that is going to be your unspent willpower and a third of your humanity.
I don't know if is hunger included in this?
Hunger is not included in it, so don't worry about that.
7 success, messy crit. Or not messy crit.
You pass the difficult. You pass the difficulty. So you do not frenzy from a result of killing River. But you stare down at his body, processing what you've just done, what you were forced to do, and you know you were forced to do. You see her, you hear the clicking of Agnes's heels as she steps beside you and looks down at River's body. The poor thing had zero control over of his actions. He was a good puppet for me for a while, to ensure I could keep you in line. But sometimes a little example needs to be set. Do you want to continue to do that, Valerie? Do you want to hurt more people you care about? 'Cause I can make that happen. He tells me that you were meeting with a friend of yours. At coffee shops, I made him tell me, of course. Shall I deal with that friend of yours as well, Valerie? Are you going to keep acting out? Or am I going to have to keep you in line through more cruel methods?
Show her cruel methods, Valerie. Show her she's the one out of control.
Now, can I already made a roll to try and know stuff about the cult of Misroth, didn't I? Because I know they have a policy.
You can try, if you're trying to break through the barrier again. You can do it one more time. Wits and awareness. You get an additional dice from Rex. And I will say you get another dice from River.
Do I know what my target number is? I can't re-roll any of these anyways. I just want to know in case.
5.
5, and I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4. If I rouse, I could frenzy, but
it's even with our extra dice.
Yeah, I like my wits and insight or awareness is 3. Wait, no, it'd be 5. Yeah, with 2 extra dice. Sorry, it'd be 5. You know, I never needed to rouse anyways. It was holding me back. I lied. It was 2 successes. I was mainly I know because I know the Cult of Mithrath had a thing about hurting touchstones and wanting to maintain your humanity. So that's what I was trying to remember specifically.
Okay.
Could I make an occult?
Yeah, you can make an intelligence and occult roll then.
Not great. 3 successes.
3 successes. Not really. You don't recall.
Okay. Then, I will look up to Agnes, or I guess I'm looking down. I'll catch the eye of Agnes, stare her directly in her eyes, and I'll just say, "I'll hurt as many people I have to win. Make me. I will do whatever it takes to win."
Yeah, that's right.
I killed Rex to kill that white. I was going to kill River anyways, but you just sped up the process. I don't care what I have to do.
What's 1 more? What's 2 more? Win, Valerie.
We'll continue this conversation when you're less hysterical.
I'll...
Have fun taking care of your friend's body.
As you said, I'll say, not a friend, it's a ghoul. You don't make friends with ghouls.
Your pet, then.
You know, she's looking a little tasty, Valerie.
I will, I'll just say, make sure to tell Bateman I say hello.
And why would a Camarilla Primogen care what a lowly anarch has to say?
Ooh. She finally called you what you are.
You're such a fucking disappointment.
Yeah, baby. Feel that burn.
I'll nod, kind of. So I'll adjust my tie, as I'll say. Whenever you're cooled down enough, perhaps we can return to the table negotiating. It seems you need to cool off as well. Oh, especially with your little tantrum. You just threw away the only thing you had over me.
Stupid bitch.
So we're ready to come back as equals. You know where to find me.
She glares at you and starts to walk away. You hear the door slam hard, shaking the frame, shaking the house a little bit as she leaves.
Good job, Valerie. Maybe you've got something to you. Fake it till you make it.
I'm not thinking anymore. I kept holding on to the notion I was somehow morally better than the rest, but no. I'm not going to keep holding myself back anymore. And I think the last thing I would do if I can, I want to call on my one ally from the cartel, and I'm going to ask if they can assist me in cleaning up this body.
They will do so. No questions asked.
And I'll give one last look to River, or I will get like a rug or a blanket to cover him with, as I will go back to the living room and just resume whatever I've had planning. Open up my phone and start making some calls.
Rex,
Yeah.
do you feel that Valerie has proven herself to be back to who she was?
Not quite. It's almost there. I feel like she's almost there. But I'm not quite ready to let go yet.
All right. And as you make your calls, preparing for the next moves, we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session. Thank you so much for joining us for our episode of Don't Get Caught this Friday, so tomorrow. Make sure to check in and watch our Hunter the Reckoning stream by our ST Cole. What the hell was that? On Saturday, we have After Dark with Misha Kent, our beloved lead storyteller. On Sunday, we have our Camarilla Chronicle, Bloody Strings, ST'd by Bera the Bard, or Devlin rather, as he is now going by. On Monday, we have another episode of Mementos dropping on YouTube, and then on Tuesday, we have our Rage Across Tampa stream, which is our Werewolf the Apocalypse Chronicle, so definitely go ahead and check that out. We've got an amazing story happening over there, and that ties in a little bit with Bateman. Maybe. A little bit. It's not like he's a major antagonist over in Tampa. But then come back and join us next Thursday again for another episode of Don't Get Caught. We've had an amazing time here. Our chronicle here is starting to draw to an end, and I am looking forward to seeing how this story ends. Until next time, folks.